Breaking news, everybody. Nibiru is still a thing. Somehow. Don't know how. Don't really know how. We're going to talk about Nibiru today, and how it's not real. It doesn't exist. We're going to talk about why people, well, not really why people believe it. People will believe anything. I don't really know. We're just going to talk about why it doesn't exist, and why these people who keep saying they're taking pictures of it are fucking idiots, I guess, for lack of a better word. I'm not normally this harsh with people. You guys know. You guys have seen videos. I tend to be a little bit more harsh to people that are normally like flat earthers or moon hoaxers or whatever. But Nibiru, absolutely. I mean, flat Earth does not have any basis in real science and math. Doesn't have any real basis in any quantifiable form. But you know, these people have somewhat of a brain. I guess more or less. For the most part, they are otherwise intelligent people who know, what's up, what's going on, especially with the world and stuff. Nibiru people are a little bit different. I don't really know why. Don't really know what's going on with them. I tried to talk to a few of them. Ran into a YouTuber who took FLIR heat signature film of Nibiru and Nemesis Star, and I don't mean to come off as I don't know, facetious in this video. It's just very ridiculous, the fact that I have to get on here and fucking talk about a fake planet and a fake star that just don't have any basis in science whatsoever. So let's just get into it. We're gonna talk about where these people are coming from, what they think, things that they have tried to say about this planet, and the main reason I wanted to talk about this, I recently joined a Facebook group. I stumbled across it. It's called Doomsday Debunked, and I'll link their link for the group, whatever, in the description. Great group of people. A lot of information, a lot of intelligent people that are in there. The whole premise of the group is essentially for people that are worried or anxious about all these different doomsday predictions, these date setters that are out there, people that say, oh, the Bible says the world's going to end in 2018 or whatever. It's for people that have issues or anxiety, which I fully understand how anxiety works, fully understand how stuff like that can affect you. But it's essentially a group where these people can go and... I'm trying to film, you dick. Sorry, my cat meowed at me for some reason. Anyways, it's essentially a group where these people can go if they're feeling anxious about a specific doomsday prediction or a specific date setter that said the world's going to end. And one thing that keeps cropping up, unfailingly cropping up, is Nibiru. Nibiru, whatever you want to call it. Planet X, the Nemesis Star, the Red Dragon. It keeps popping up. And I've done my best to answer any questions people have. I spend quite a bit of a time behind a telescope. If there's something out there, not only would I know about it, but the entire scientific community would know about it. And here's why. And here is a bit of evidence that, as of yet, no Nibiru. I'm going to call it Nibiru because that's what I grew up saying it, because it's kind of an old hoax, I guess, since I was in like middle school or high school, so going on 10 years now. Jesus, I'm old. Anyways, one thing that they haven't been able to sort of prove that I've asked them is, okay, you say that there's another planet, and Planet 9 is a little bit different. We're going to talk about Planet 9. Planet 9 is not Nibiru. Planet 9 is not Planet X. It's not the Nemesis Star. It's not this Red Dragon. Nibiru, Planet X. If it exists, as they say it does, and if it exists where they say it exists, why isn't it affecting the gravitational pull of the sun? Why isn't it affecting the Earth's orbit, the Moon's orbit, Venus, Mars? None of these planets are being affected by anything else out there. Every single time I've asked that, nobody's been able to answer it. That alone, that is the one piece of evidence you need to... I guess debunk the whole thing. Until I get an answer to that, and until you guys see an answer to that, don't believe in any of it. It's complete trash. The people that spread these rumors about Nibiru and the people that claim that they've seen Nibiru they know what they're doing. They're not innocent people. They're not, oh, I saw a thing in the sky. Anyone that has the time to put a video together saying that they filmed Nibiru or that they took a picture of Nibiru, or anyone that has the time to put an article together to prove its existence, they're complete shams. I don't care. They're going to call me a shill for this video. They're going to tell me, oh, you're paid by the government. I'm really not. I'm just a regular dude who lives in sort of a moderately small town in South Carolina. Like, I have no affiliation with the government whatsoever. But that's their thing, though. That's how they debunk you. They debunk you by insinuating that you're either a shill or that you have some ulterior motive. But my ulterior motive is to help people that are legitimately anxious about this stuff, people that legitimately experience anxiety, people that legitimately on a daily basis have to wake up and sometimes deal with these things. I understand that it's not a logical thought, but anxiety isn't always logical. Anxiety isn't always something that we can predict, and it isn't always something that we can deal with straight away. It's easy to say, oh, that doesn't exist. But for the average person suffering from anxiety, it's a little bit different. They can logically know something doesn't exist, but it still eats at them. It still bugs them and bothers them, and it still has negative effects on them in their everyday lives. So my goal is to make sure that these people are able to best handle what they need to handle in order to feel okay. People deserve to wake up and not be worried for their lives, and that's honestly what anxiety feels like. Anyways, we're getting off the point. So I don't remember this YouTuber guy's name. I think his name is Boogeyman. And again, I'm not calling him out. I'm not directing any hate towards this channel. I'm going to tell him that he is wrong. I have told him that he is wrong on multiple occasions, and I'm going to tell him why he's wrong. But that doesn't mean you guys need to go hate on him. That doesn't mean go to his channel and spam the comments with hate. That's not the point of this. He knows. I've had a conversation, however brief, because he doesn't respond back. I've had a conversation with him about my feelings about it, and he ceased to respond after the first maybe two comments that I posted, which that's par for course for these guys. So I don't know. So this guy not pretended. He actually did film something with FLIR camera, which FLIR, for those of you guys don't know, it's forward-looking infrared, which is used in a bunch of military cameras. It's used in a bunch of aircraft drone cameras. Can be outfitted on, I think there are smartphones that have FLIR capabilities now. For all intents and purposes, it's infrared imaging, heat signature imaging for the layman, I guess. Heat signature imaging works in long distances in very, 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 very expensive applications of it, i.e. military. Or you have long-range FLIR devices that can capture up to 22 kilometers away in some cases, and that's usually on aircraft, if I'm not mistaken. FLIR capabilities, and this man claimed to do all of this with a DSLR. And he has the video. I'll link the video. I'll link his channel if you guys want to check it out, just so you can see for yourself and make your own opinions. This guy filmed what I believe, in at least the first maybe 3 minutes of the video, and it's a 27-ish minute long video, and I watched it in its entirety. The first couple minutes, I believe he's filming a street light or like a lamp, or it's got to be a light bulb of some kind. When he zooms out, it sort of takes a triangular shape, which is not normal. That makes me think it's a street light, right? Because, the street light goes up, and then you've got the whole housing unit for the actual bulb, and that is sometimes triangular in shape. I don't know what it was. It was not a star. FLIR technology does not work at that distance. If you're standing on Earth, you're looking up at the stars, and you have even a very badass FLIR capable camera, it's not going to take heat signatures of stars. I'm sorry. It does not. The heat from those stars does not travel and reach Earth with enough intensity to activate the FLIR in a FLIR camera. Now, we have similar heat signature software and hardware on telescopes that are in space, like the Hubble, the Very Large Telescope that England has. James Webb Space Telescope, I believe, it definitely is going to have infrared imaging technology. Those are such intensely high-powered telescopes that they can take images of both near celestial objects and far celestial objects with infrared. No DSLR on Earth can take the FLIR. Maybe the sun. You could probably take a FLIR video of the sun because it's both close relative to other stars to us, and it provides us with such warmth and heat that you can actually feel the heat signature of the sun when you go outside. So you could see it in theory on a pretty solid FLIR setup. You can't do it to anything else. Maybe the moon. Even then, kind of, you have to have a really clear night with very low cloud cover, very low moderate temperatures, because there is atmospheric temporal differences that will alter the reading and the actual sensor, that the text, the actual FLIR waves bouncing back. You can't do it with stars, bro. I'm sorry, you can't do it. And this guy claims that all of the major players for the Nibiru system are behind the sun or near the sun. He claimed that the Nemesis star or the Nibiru system is he makes this claim that our solar system is a binary solar system. Binary solar systems do exist. The nearby Centaurus system, Alpha and Rigel, that is a binary star system. A binary star system is simply two stars that are so close to each other that they orbit, and they have other things that may or may not orbit around them. Sometimes binary star systems do have celestial bodies around them. Sometimes they don't. Sort of depends. It's very, there's a ton of different binary star systems out there, so they're all very, very, very different. Usually what happens after hundreds of thousands, even sometimes millions and billions of years, the larger of the two, because more often than not in a binary star system, you have a larger star, a parent star, and a smaller star, the child star. The parent star the gravitational pull of the parent star will cause the smaller star to orbit around it and eventually will incorporate it into itself. That happens over the course of anywhere between hundreds of thousands of years, depending on the size difference and the distance between them, to millions of years, again, depending on the size difference, the mass difference of the stars, and the distance between them. So our solar system is not a binary star system. In order for our solar system to be a binary star system, every orbit of every planet in our solar system could not exist. It couldn't be the way that it is. We all the planets move on a relatively elliptical orbit. That would not happen in a binary star system. Orbits are very unstable in binary star systems because you have two massive centers of gravity at the middle of these systems. That's why usually if these things do have things orbiting them, they don't orbit them for long. It's a very unstable orbit that is not near perfect ellipse like ours is. They eventually are incorporated into the parent star if they are not large enough, if they are small enough. Jupiter definitely couldn't exist. Jupiter is sort of a special planet in our solar system in that it kicks out a lot of junk, right? Asteroids that come through, meteorites, it sort of shapes one of our comet belts or our asteroid belts. I'll get into that in a minute. But Jupiter sort of kicks out a lot of stuff from the solar system because its gravitational influence on the rest of the solar system is so influential. It's such an influential force on the rest of stuff around it that it kicks out, and it actually protects most of the inner solar system. Earth, Venus, Mercury. The inner solar system is protected by Jupiter's gravitational influence because it takes these things and flings them out there. Jupiter's influence also gives us what we call Trojans. I know what you're thinking. Not condoms. Definitely not condoms. Jupiter's Trojans are groups of asteroids, that, if you will, meteorites, space junk, space rocks, that sort of group in something called Lagrangian points. Lagrangian points are kind of a lofty concept in physics, so I'm going to try to keep it as plain English as I can. Every object that has gravitational influence has points around it known as Lagrangian points, which sort of their areas of concentrated gravity because of the body that's exerting or exuding gravity onto the stuff around it. So Lagrangian points for mainly any celestial body are sort of symmetrical with the orbit as well. So on the exact opposite side of Jupiter's orbit is one Lagrangian point. Also, if you drew a circle around Jupiter, I guess for lack of a better way of explaining this without getting into super high level physics, and you bisected that circle directly in half, and then you take a quarter at the very bottom where that circle's bisected, you take 25% out of it. The points at which that second sort of cutting into where the quarter's taken out are two other Lagrangian points. So long story short, Jupiter's Lagrangian points create a sort of massive triangle of concentration in space junk, space debris, rocks, meteors, meteorites, asteroids. You can see those. You can pull up right now, and I'll link the Google Chrome NASA dashboard, which is amazing. You can see the concentration of these asteroids and space debris forming a solid triangle, Lagrangian point. I say all of that to say this: if there was an extra system out there, those Trojans would not exist. If it was a star, no matter how small, if it was a star small enough to be undetected by our sun and to rarely ever be seen by us except for in the early mornings, just peeking out from behind the sun, like this man says, those Trojans could not exist. The comet belts, or excuse me, I keep calling them comet belts. I want to say Kuiper belts, but that's something different. The asteroid belts around there are multiple asteroid belts. The Oort cloud, the asteroid belts that exist in our solar system, would not be able to exist. That secondary star, even if it were a small star, would have much higher gravitational influence on the rest of the solar system than Jupiter does. The biggest gravitational influencers in our solar system right now are the sun and Jupiter. That's because Jupiter is so massive, it influences everything else around it because it has such an intense gravitational pull. And the sun obviously is a star, very massive, very dense. It's going to have the most gravitational influence in the solar system. So those are some just tiny little scientific tidbits, if you will. If you guys want to do some research on your own, feel free. Like I said, please do not go to this guy's channel and spread hate. That is not ever my intention. My intention is not to point out that this guy is an idiot. That's personal beliefs completely aside. He is wrong. That's the correct terminology. Wrong. He seems like a very intelligent guy. This video, though, there's another part in it at 23 minutes exactly. He claims to have filmed Nibiru. So keep in mind, he said the major players of the Nibiru system are behind the sun. You have to go outside at like really early in the morning. I think he said 3 to 6 in the morning on the East Coast in order to see Nibiru just peeking out from behind the sun. He's filming at nighttime at this specific timestamp, 23 minutes in this video. He's filming at nighttime, and he's filming what looks to me like Venus or it's either Venus or Sirius. I can't tell because there's no other reference points. He gives you, well, there's reference points in the sky. He's filming from his backyard. You can see sort of a partial roof and some tree limbs, but he's filming what looks to me to be as bright as Venus or Sirius. Sirius being one of the brightest stars in the sky. We'll get into that another time. So yeah, he says that's proof that but you know, he's filming at nighttime or maybe even in the early morning, nowhere near the sun. No, the sun is nowhere to be found. The sun is nowhere to be found. He's filming at night. He says, you know, that these players in the Nibiru system are behind the sun, near the sun, around the sun, but he's filming at night. Just a couple things. That's just this one specific guy. Nibiru has been a topic that people have talked about for years, will continue to talk about for years. This is not meant to put the nail in the coffin of Nibiru, because that's very easily done. If you speak to any Nibiru hoaxer, believer, whatever, ask them one simple question, which I've already said: why doesn't it have gravitational influence on either the Earth in the form of tides changing, weather patterns changing, the moon's orbit changing, the Earth's orbit changing? Why doesn't it have gravitational influence on any other celestial body? They will not be able to answer it. This guy tried to put in coordinates for the Nibiru system. His coordinates were absolute crap. They mean absolutely nothing. He may have found that thing where Nibiru was found on Google Sky and put in those coordinates, but that's, again, absolute crap. That's completely irrelevant. That's already been debunked a long time ago by people much smarter than me. So I will leave that, up to you guys. Go check out his channel. Please, please, please do not spread hate. That is not what this is for. I'm not that type of person. I'm not here to tell you guys, go tell this man how wrong he is. I am here to make sure you guys are informed. I'm here to make sure you guys know what you're talking about if you ever do run into one of these people and they try to pawn their beliefs off. And this is also for the people in the Facebook group, Doomsday Debunked. Again, I will link the description for that group. It's run by a brilliant man named Robert Walker. He's a very, very intelligent man. He debunks many, many different doomsday theories. There was one most recently about today, I think, Phase 13, which... we're not even going to get into that. I've already debunked that, and for you guys that are in the group, you guys have seen that debunking. You've seen me interact with that person on Twitter. That's all said and done, but he debunks Harold Camping, or people very similar. There are a couple of other people, Christy Rivera, that he debunks. Quite a few false doomsday prophets, if you will. This is just my attempt to both bring you guys some spicy science meatballs and to help people that are feeling anxious about this stuff. Since Nibiru is one of the most talked about topics in that group, I figured that's a great place to start. I would love to sort of make these videos for you guys and talk about all the different doomsday thingies and how we can debunk those. This is just one very particular one that, again, can be debunked in many, many more ways than what I'm telling you here on this video. I just thought, with what I know about physics and astrophysics and the solar system and space in general, I would offer my insight to why we can tell for 100% fact that it is complete bullshit. Excuse my language in this video, but this one, since everything I told you, anyone who has any background in any type of science cannot understand what they're believing is wrong, or at least without abandoning their entire belief in the scientific community. It just doesn't make sense. But anyways, that's it for the Nibiru Doomsday thing being debunked, I guess. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. I know I've been gone a while, and I know I rambled a lot in this video, but I feel like there's a lot of decent information. Please subscribe if you're new here, and if you enjoyed the content. This channel right now is sort of just a conglomerate of things. Science, now we're doing doomsday predictions. I love the fact that we're talking about conspiracies that are fake, because that's one of my favorite things to do, is talk about fake conspiracies. But anyways, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. Again, subscribe if you're new, and for more varied content, we do everything here. Tell me down in the comments if you guys, especially you guys from the Doomsday Debunked group, if you guys have any other topics you want me to talk about, any other things that you want me to bring up, any other things that you want discussed either in a video or a dedicated video about, please let me know in the comments. I welcome any and all discussion. For people that are finding me and that think Nibiru is real, if you've made it this far, then I congratulate you. You have a lot more tolerance and patience than many of your peers. I thank you for joining me. Please, if you have any issues with what I've said, or if you feel like you need to fact check or clarify anything that I've said, please let me know. Please put it in the comments. We'll have a discussion. And again, every discussion that is welcome are only discussions that are cohesive and discussions that are constructive. If you come on the page or channel, comment section, whatever, I do not tolerate racism. I do not tolerate sexism. I don't tolerate name calling just for the sake of name calling. If you want to have an intelligent discussion about your beliefs and why I think those beliefs may be incorrect, then please let me know. I probably am not going to change my mind, but I would be happy to hear your opinions. Again, I'm not calling you specifically an idiot. I'm not calling that guy specifically an idiot. I know I said it at the beginning of this video. That was more tongue-in-cheek than anything. But anyways, if you made it this far and you're a Nibiru / flat earther / hoax believer, congratulations. I guess you get a cookie if that helps you feel better. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you guys in the next one.